I don't want to pay fucking child support for 18 years. I worked in IT, made decent coin, and my child support was high enough that my ex-wife didn't have to work full-time, and so has been part-time for 17 odd years. Where I live, child support has a base amount based on gross income, and be a secondary amount based on the ratio of the two incomes that's supposed to cover extra expenses, like braces, glasses, expensive extracurricular activities, post-secondary, etc. My son is quite bright, but after living with his mom for 17 years, he's nearly non-functional. She's cultivated almost ludicrous dependency, and he spends most of his day either lying and manipulating to get around her enormous volume of restrictions, or sucking up to her for validation and attention. He believes her fabrications about me, so we have no contact, and he's about the laziest kid I've ever met. So, as he approached the end of high school, I did the math on university, and with the ratio of our two incomes, I would be paying 100% of the mandated amount of base child support, but I'd also be paying 91% of his university costs. My child support was going to nearly double. If we were still married, he'd be going to school on student loans and working while he was going to school, but because we're divorced, I'm expected to foot nearly the entire bill. Therefore, I arranged with my employer to lay me off, and have spent the last 2 years laying the groundwork for a small business I'm going to transition into rather than going back to work. I lived on a combination of my savings and on the non-vested portion of my pension that had to be cashed out when I left, as that pension money was money I'd already paid child support on when I made it. This effectively ended my CS. I spent the 2 years taking online courses, honing my skills, networking, etc. I lost a portion of my pension, sure, and lived on a small portion of what I'd been making prior to year versus 80,000 per years, post-taxes, but with the cessation of my CS, my discretionary income was nearly the same as it would have been, but I didn't have to work, with the rules being what they are. Now that he's 19 and not in full-time school, I'm officially off the hook for child support, and now I can pay for any post-secondary schooling he might do, without having to route the money through mom and see her take most of it to subsidize her lifestyle. I lived simply, so I've actually got money left from my non-vested portion of my pension, enough to cover the entire first year of most programs where I live. All he has to do is pick up the phone ... comma. Do I feel badly? Not a whit. After how the two of them have treated me over the years, I have no qualms at all about ending CS 2 years early, specifically to avoid an unfair spike that would have put me up against the wall. Financially,